Hey, we're in Excel now, which in your textbook is the plum section immediately after the green. And if you send me a haiku message with the word plum, I will give you 5 extra credit points because that tells me you are listening to the videos, or watching the videos, and listening to the instruction. And that's very important because we don't demonstrate as a class. Everybody works at a different pace, and this also gives you the opportunity to rewind in case you need better understanding of anything. So once again, make sure you're watching these videos and then working in the book through the step-by-step exercises, actually reading each step. And if you ever see that I make a mistake, and send me a haiku message pointing it out. Point it out in class too, so I correct the mistake if necessary. But I give extra credit and or bucks for that. Okay, page 5, step-by-step 1.1. We are going to begin Excel. And then Excel is a spreadsheet program, so make sure you understand what the word spreadsheet means. If you don't, you're going to want to look in the book for the definition and add it to those notes. So we're going to actually do 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 together before you get checked off, since they're very simple, very basic things that you've already learned, just now you're in a different application. 1.1, basically just opening Excel. So you should know how to do that. If you don't, then make sure that you read the steps on page 5. One thing I want to point out though is make sure that you always maximize. So if your application isn't full page right here, we'll maximize it. Okay. Alright, 1.2, you're actually going to open a file. Don't forget, anytime the book tells you to open, you go to haiku and find the file in whatever week we're in. I also want to point out in the worksheet, this entire file is called a workbook. If you look down at the bottom, there are several worksheets. Okay, and you can have several, across the bottom of the page. I've had so many I couldn't count of worksheets within a workbook. So you need to know that, those terms, and you need to know what columns are. So columns go across the top, and they are identified by letters. Rows appear horizontally. Okay, so this is across the top. This would be called vertically. Rows, and they're identified by letters. And then rows are horizontally. Okay. And they are identified by numbers. A cell is anywhere a column, a letter, or a row, a number intersect. So this cell is D9. And you can see that because the D is orange and the 9 is orange, and right here in the name box it tells you what cell that is. So if you're way down here and you don't want to have to follow what row and what column you're in, you can simply look right here and it tells you what cell you're in. Okay. Once we get into formulas, you'll use this right here, which is the formula bar. So make sure you know that term. Okay, so step-by-step 1.2, we're going to open frogs. Now remember, you're going to actually go up on haiku to get this file, and then you're going to leave it open for the next step-by-step. So now you can see why I'm not checking these off. Just opening Excel, or starting Excel and then opening frogs, very simplistic. So now we're going to save it, And I do want to check you at the end of this to make sure you're still saving files correctly. So remember, when we save something for the first time, we want to use the Save As command. And they're going to have you call it frog census. So remember, do that smart thing. Don't just start typing it all over again. They already have the word frogs in there, and you merely need to add to it. And make sure you save these in your documents. Now it says followed by your initials. Do you remember what you're supposed to do here? Don't forget to do that with every file, because that does lose you points if you don't. And then you click Save. So call someone over to check you off, and you are done with 1.1 to 1.3.